Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Elyse Andrews and I make new videos every Tuesday talking about my post-grad stresses, successes, and creative endeavors. First of all, I want to say that this video is not sponsored by Skillshare. Here's the thing, I watch a lot of YouTube, like a lot of it, and specifically, I mean creative YouTubers, but also just normal YouTubers. Anyway, everyone and their mother is sponsored by Skillshare on YouTube, and I've been seeing these ads. I wanted to try out Skillshare a while ago, and I tried doing my free trial using the student membership whenever the world closed down and I got kicked out of school. Anyway, but I didn't end up using that trial because I was busy and I didn't really want to learn anything new. But now I used a YouTuber's trial code and I got the 2-month free trial of Skillshare. And so for this video, I wanted to give you a non-sponsored review of some Skillshare classes. I really took advantage of my 2-month free trial experience, and I'm excited to share with you what I thought of it and if I will continue my membership moving forward. I've recently come to the conclusion that illustration is probably my passion, so I focused the video on looking at classes about illustration or drawing techniques or other creative things. So this is really all that this video is applicable towards, is kind of the art-related content on Skillshare, which is a big part of it. In this video, I'm going to share which classes I took, what I thought of it, and who I think it would be good for, and if I'm going to continue with my membership and pay for it moving forward. I did basically 8 classes over the 2-month trial, and I did 1 class a week. I really liked this one. I follow her on Instagram, and it was really nice to emulate her style and just kind of see how she does her work. And that's kind of a trend you'll see in a lot of these artists that I go through, is that I just like kind of trying on their hat for the day and being them and copying their style without fearing that I'm copying someone's style. I love Andy J. Pizza so much. He is one of my favorite creatives that just exists in the world. He has a great podcast called Creative Pep Talk, and this class was amazing. It was one of my favorites that I did. And yeah, we love Andy J. Pizza. This was really fun, and I got a lot of good ideas out of this class. This one was fun. I wanted to do it after I saw the example image of it for like the thumbnail of the class project, and it sounded fun. Always want an excuse to talk about Spain, to draw about Spain, to relive that experience at all, so this was fun. So this class, I honestly could have tried harder in. I didn't really listen to it much. I was distracted, so I hate that I'm even putting this in here, but I wanted to mention it. I think the history on the illustration and graphic design that the artist talks about is really interesting and valuable. I just didn't really care for the class project that much. I really enjoyed this class. Again, this was a fun time to try out her style and learn from her, and I don't know, I love drawing flowers, so super fun. And this one also super fun. As I mentioned, I got to try out my inks that I had just purchased. I wanted an excuse to use that new medium, and so that was really fun, and I really liked working with them, and I'm gonna try to use colored ink more. It's kind of like working with watercolor, but you can't lift it at all, but it still kind of has the transparency of watercolor. Okay, this one, I think I'm pretty sure I can say that this was my favorite one. I am just fascinated with like ink nib drawings and using brushes to just like draw with ink. It's something I want to get more into because I think that drawing and just kind of basic line arts things, line drawings are something I'm pretty good at, and just black and white sketchbook pen drawings. And I really want to get better at doing this with kind of the traditional way of using a nib or using a brush. So it was just fascinating to watch her, and I enjoyed the resulting project that I came out of the class with, so really great. And finally, I knew I had to do this class with Danielle Creasa. She is the Jealous Curator, and she runs a blog and has a podcast, which is my favorite podcast of all time. She just came back after a pretty long hiatus, and I'm so excited. So anyway, she's always very uplifting on her podcast, and this kind of is no exception. It was just a very uplifting, cool class about aha moments and how they can spark creativity and new great work in your life. One quick thing to preface, I do have an art degree. I'm not a beginner in creating things. I still have a lot to learn, but that'll come in later. Anyway, what I liked and what I did not like. Well, one thing that I didn't expect to have to deal with, but they have really great customer service. I had the premium and I wanted to watch it on my phone at some point, and I wasn't able to actually watch it. There was something wrong with it. I don't know what the issue was, but I contacted customer support and it took a little bit more than just kind of hitting a button or me doing something wrong, and they really stuck with me and answered all of my questions and really helped me find out a solution to my problem, and it worked. It's like one of the best customer service experiences I've ever had. So if that matters to you, they are like 10 out of 10. Another great thing about it was really cool seeing creators that I love on the platform, and like I've mentioned several times, I like to emulate their styles and learn from them and, you know, learn more about their philosophies on creativity. I thought that was great, and I love how many creators that I love they've gotten onto the platform to do classes, and I hope more creators are able to do courses on there. It was really fun to try something different, something new, try out other people's styles, but also have it as an excuse for me to use my new inks that I bought, or play with gouache a little bit more, or just try a different technique that I hadn't really done before. It was nice to gain a new perspective and a new experience, especially because I was feeling a little blah with some of the work that I was creating before starting all of these. Now for what I disliked about it. Okay, it was a little bit too easy for me, kind of. This is kind of like a UI issue that I have with it, but there is supposed to be a way for you to sort classes by difficulty, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I want to look up a advanced illustration class or an advanced inking class, something like that. And when I would also look up like the beginner classes, it would just be basically the same results. I don't know if it was just me, but I wasn't really able to find those advanced classes I was looking for easily. Maybe they're there and maybe their ranking system's a little messed up, but I was a little bit let down by that. Another kind of gripe that I have with it is that it was somewhat difficult to understand how I was supposed to do the class, because like I wasn't sure about the length of time it would take as well. Like with the Andy J Pizza one, that ended up taking me like 4 or 5 days of like pretty dedicated work to complete the class. And then other classes actually took me just pretty much like the hour and a half that they said they would. So there's that. And then I also wasn't sure how to do the class, if I should, you know, pause after this video and then do my creative thing, and then that adds on like another hour, and then it just was unclear to me how I should complete the class. And again, maybe that's just me, but I'm not used to virtual learning. I've graduated, I don't have to do that, I'm not in school, but it was just a little weird for me, especially because I am not an actual student communicating with the professor and having them tell me how they expect me to do the class and kind of get feedback from them. And that's pretty much it on the pros and cons of Skillshare. I thought it was pretty good overall. Now the question is, did I decide to continue my membership? And the answer to that is not currently, but maybe sometime in the future. At this point in my life, I am pretty busy kind of with things that I've got going on, all of my creative endeavors, and I don't really have the time. I found that I didn't have a ton of time each week to learn something new, and I still don't quite have that really big drive to learn something new from these classes. Again, I really enjoyed the information that I got and the experiences I had with the platform, but not that I could justify spending the membership fee on for the next 12 months kind of thing, if that makes sense. But if I had a little bit more free time, or say I received a membership as a gift for Christmas, something like that, I would totally use it when I had free time and I wanted to learn something new and just try something different, and maybe even use Skillshare for other features other than art. But it's just not right. It's just not in the cards for me right now. But I wanted to also mention some people that I think would benefit from this membership. Biggest thing, students, especially like a high school student or something. If I was in high school still and like over the summer or something like that and bored and just watching Netflix all the time, I would have so benefited from a membership to something like this. I wish that I mean, maybe it existed when I was in high school, but I'm not sure. But it would have been so helpful and useful for me, and I would have gotten a ton out of it. Just to spend my time creating things and trying new things and keeping my mind engaged instead of just sitting on the couch watching Parks and Rec for the 5th time. I think that Skillshare would also be cool to use if you wanted to try out different mediums. Say you were gifted a set of gouache and you have no idea how to use gouache or how to even pronounce it. I think that Skillshare would be a really great thing to try out, you know, not even just learn about how to use gouache, but kind of come up with projects to use your gouache for. If you're new to art and you're still trying to find your artistic voice, I think this would be a really great thing to use. Also, I think it would be a really good Christmas gift. I think it's a really thoughtful thing, and it is somewhat pricey, I guess, but as like a nice Christmas gift, I think this would be a really thoughtful, useful, long-term gift to someone. I don't know if you can gift it, but you could probably work something out with them. And if you're bored with what you've been making, this is a really good platform for that. So yeah, Skillshare is not affordable for me currently with where I'm at in my life, but I would really like it to be in the future, and maybe when I get a job or YouTube starts making me money, then I will get it again. Or if they want to sponsor me in the future. I don't know if they'll want to sponsor me after this. Maybe I've just ruined everything, but anyway, I saw a lot of ads. I've been wanting to try it. I tried it. I'm bringing this content and this information to you so you can make an informed decision on whether or not you want to use it. But yeah, Skillshare is awesome. I really liked it, and I hope to restart my membership sometime in the future and learn a lot, and maybe learn about other things other than just art and design. I already went to art school. Maybe I can learn something else. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to Skillshare also for providing such a generous free trial. I think that's really awesome that they do that. Please like, please subscribe, and let me know what other kind of content you'd like to see. I will see you on I will see you on Saturday for the next episode of the Draw Pod, my visual podcast, and I will also see you next Saturday for my next video.